Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kseniya. I make videos for people who are going through the family immigration process. I'm not an attorney. My videos are based on public information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. Today's video is an updated list of forms necessary for family-based adjustment of status in 2024. Keep in mind that this video is only for those who are pursuing family-based adjustment of status, so it means that the person applying for a green card is currently inside the United States and is eligible to file for adjustment of status. For those of you who are pursuing family-based immigration through consular process, I will link a playlist that I made specifically for consular processing. So in today's video, I will briefly talk about each form and provide you with links to my videos that talk about these forms and some online resources that you will find useful during this process. The first required form in the entire process is the form I-130, the petition for alien relative. This form is filed by a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident who wishes to have an eligible relative immigrate to the United States. The person filling out this form is called the petitioner, and the person immigrating is called the beneficiary, and we will use these terms as we go through this video. The form I-130 establishes the petitioner's relationship to their beneficiary. Only certain relatives are able to be petitioned through family-based green card process. And there's also a big difference between U.S. citizen petitioners and permanent resident petitioners, as they each are allowed to petition only certain types of relatives. In addition, certain immediate relatives of U.S. citizens are able to adjust their status, which means apply for a green card, immediately after submitting the form I-130. Since this form establishes your relationship with the beneficiary, you will need to provide a lot of evidence proving your relationship to this person. In some cases, such as parent or child petitions, the list of evidence is fairly short. However, if you are going through marriage-based adjustment of status, you will need to provide quite a lot of evidence proving that your marriage is in fact real. It is also known as bona fide marital relationship. If you would like to know what kind of proof of relationship you will need to provide for your particular case, you can check out the Form I-130 instructions on pages 6 and 7. The cost of the Form I-130 is $675 if you file it by paper and $625 if you file it online. There are a lot of different benefits to filing the I-130 petition online, especially because it not only streamlines the process for you, but also allows USCIS to potentially process your case a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, the Form I-130 is the only form that is available online for family-based adjustment of status. You can still submit it online and follow up the rest of your applications by mail. In any family-based case, you must file the Form I-130 first, with one exception. If your beneficiary is already here on a K-1 fiancé visa and you married within the 90 days of their arrival, in that case, you can jump straight into adjustment of status, but in all other cases, you must file the Form I-130. The next supplemental form is called I-130A, which is a supplemental information about the spouse beneficiary. This form goes along with the Form I-130, but only in marriage-based cases. If you are petitioning your parent or your child, in that case, you do not need to submit the Form I-130A. If you submit your I-130 petition online, you will be able to upload the Form I-130A directly into your online application. And if you decide to file everything by mail, then the Form I-130A must be included with your mailed I-130 petition. The Form I-130A on its own doesn't have a fee fee, as it is a supplemental form that must be included for marriage-based petitions. The second most crucial form in the entire adjustment of status process is the actual application for a green card, which is the Form I-485, the adjustment of status form. The Form I-485 is filled out by the beneficiary. Once again, only immediate relatives of U.S. citizens can submit the Form I-485 at the same time as their Form I-130. You also must make sure that you are eligible to file it in all other circumstances, such as being able to prove that you have lawful entry to the United States. So for this particular form, you will also need to provide a lot of supporting documentation. And I will link a video in the description box of this video, which talks specifically about the required evidence for the Form I-485. The application fee for the Form I-485 is $1,440. The next form, which is extremely important for family-based adjustment of status, is the Form I-864, the Affidavit of Support form. The Form I-864 is served as a proof that your petitioner can financially support you. There's also a lot of supporting evidence that comes along with the Affidavit of Support specifically. If I could tell you one thing, is that this particular form causes the most confusion and mistakes from applicants, which can result in requests for evidence and delays in your case. This is why I always recommend people check out my I-864 playlist so that you can avoid those mistakes and streamline your case. This form in itself doesn't have a separate fee when you're filing it as part of the adjustment of status packet. The Affidavit of Support form also has a lot of different variations, and it also depends if the petitioner makes appropriate income to support the intending immigrants. You may have to use a co-sponsor or the help of family members. In other cases, the beneficiary may have been already living in the United States for many years and earned enough Social Security credits to not need the sponsorship. I recommend that you check out the different types of affidavit of support and the form instructions to make sure that you're submitting the correct form in your case. The next two applications are optional applications, but they are also often submitted with the adjustment of status case. And they are I-131, which is the application for advance parole, aka travel document, and the Form I-765, which is the application for employment authorization. These two forms will allow your beneficiary to work inside the United States legally and temporarily travel overseas while they're waiting for their green card. Sometimes the green card case can take as long as a year or even longer, and ideally these two applications will bridge that gap. Unfortunately, after April 1st of 2024, these two forms are no longer free when submitting with adjustment of status, and you must pay a separate fee for each of these forms. The fee for I-131 is $630, and the fee for I-765 is $260. You can apply for both of these forms, one of these forms, or none of these forms, depending on your personal circumstance and your decision. The last form is the Form I-693, the Medical Examination and Vaccination form. This form is also a part of the adjustment of status application. It is absolutely required. This form will prove to USCIS and to the US government that you don't have any medical or mental conditions which will prevent you from being eligible for a green card. A special immigration doctor has to complete this form and provide you with the results in a sealed envelope, which you will then send off to USCIS with your adjustment of status application. The Form I-693 doesn't have a specific fee, but you will have to pay out of pocket for the actual medical exam to the special immigration doctor, also known as the civil surgeon. So USCIS recommends that you send your I-693 free medical exam together with your adjustment of status case to streamline your process just a little. But it is not a huge mistake if you choose not to submit it at the same time as your applications. You will, however, receive a request for evidence asking you to send in the medical exam. Currently, the medical exam does not have an expiration date, so you may get it done at any time before you apply for adjustment of status or during the time that you wait for a decision. But again, to avoid the delays in your case, USCIS recommends that you provide the medical examination right away. The final two forms are not really applications, but they are forms that you may need for your adjustment of status packet. The first form is called G1145, which is an electronic notification of your case receipt, which means that once you send off your case to USCIS by mail, when they receive it and begin processing it, you will receive a text message or an email notifying you that they have received your case. It is often a very useful tool, especially because in some cases applicants have to wait anywhere between 2 weeks to even 2 months to receive an actual paper receipt of their application, and they may miss some very important notices about their case. So the electronic notification will also give you a receipt number, which you can then add to your online USCIS account to easily track your cases. And the final form is G1450, which is only used if you're paying for your applications using a credit or debit card, and it is only necessary if you decide to pay by card when sending your applications by mail. Keep in mind that you must file a separate form G1450 for each application that you submit. Never ever combine the fees into one G1450 form. So, for example, if you're filing the form I-130, I-485, and I-765, in that case, you will need to file 3 separate G1450 forms with a specific fee indicated for each of those applications. Since April 1st of 2024, all application fees already include biometrics, so you don't have to pay separately for any biometrics fees. It can get quite confusing and stressful to organize all of these applications and supporting documents. So you can check out the video that I made in showing you how I organized my green card packet. In addition, I will provide you with links to samples of my cover letters, which you can safely copy and use for your own case, or you can simply use those cover letter samples as a checklist of required documents for your case. I hope that you found this video useful. Please give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!